Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 1370, 1370. I'm Mike Matthews, broadcasting from Café Anyway. It's the Daily Mike Show. We're located here in Podcastro Valley, Mont, the last place on earth. And we have some people stopping by today, and I gotta get everything all cleaned up and vacuum and everything.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Because Shelly Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, and John Deere the Engineer are going to stop by. Yes, all the people on this show have
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Their occupation already included in their surnames, and I didn't get to play any reindeer games yesterday because there was no snow, because it was the longest day of the year and I forgot. So I was downstairs because I had computer problems a lot yesterday because Windows 10 decided to do their big update.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And my computer was like, well, it updated. It took a long time to update, but then I discovered it's got
Mike's
3D
Daily
Paint.
Podcast.
Do you ever use that app?
Yeah!
Or that function, that program that comes with your Windows if you have Windows, called Paint? I use it quite a bit in the podcast picture, but now they got 3D Paint, so I was playing around with that. And then my Samsung phone needed to be updated. Oh, it was just a crazy update day yesterday, and then it couldn't because there was too much crap on my phone. Look who just walked in.
Hello, my God, this is Shelly Shoehart, gift shop supervisor. Oh my God, you need to get like a bigger chip for your phone and stuff.
Yeah, that's right. People keep telling me you should put because you've got a phone now. A Samsung phone lets you put a little chip thingy in there, and a little mini disc. And I do not do that for various reasons. Look what's walking in. Oh, Mike, this is Floyd the Floorman. And this is John Deere the Engineer. Mike, it's true. We do have our occupation included in our names. And you need a mini disc. A mini thingy. Chip. I need to add a chip. Mike, I know a guy named Chip. That's great. Hey, you know, I like a good Father's Day joke, or what do they call it? Dad joke. I didn't really realize what dad jokes were. And I guess what's ironic, on Father's Day, everybody was talking about how the king of dad jokes, he had a show
And here's today's podcast picture.
all about it. The Cosby Show. Yes, Bill Cosby. He got out of that. I don't have it in front of me. What was it? The court's gonna appeal, but it was a mistrial. That's right. Mistrial? At any rate, he didn't go to jail. So the podcast picture is not of Bill Cosby. It is oh, you know what? It's in my phone, but my phone is updating. No, it's actually this beautiful picture I took on Saturday. The sun was setting right here behind Mount Tamalpais. And over there is San Francisco, and somebody was fishing in front of me. And I was taking this picture from Bay Farm Island. As I walked, the wonderful Basil the Boxer. Yes. Oh, what a beautiful picture it is. Oh, by the way, we're going to get to a news segment today. And the name of it, and I thought I had planned all this out, and I didn't. So now I have to think of this off the top of my head. Oh, the top of my head is so shiny. So shiny and bald. We're gonna go on a news scavenger hunt. So we're gonna do Mike's scavenger hunt today. Yes, the day after summer solstice. And I didn't realize it was summer solstice yesterday. Nobody at work said anything. I kind of mentioned to someone, hey, the longest day of the year's coming up. And they went, yeah, whatever, who cares? I don't like that. I don't like that attitude so many people have, that nonchalant, I don't care, I don't give a crap attitude people have. It's not necessary. You should give a crap about these things. The longest day, all the sunlight. I mean, I came in today and there was sun at 5 in the morning. And there'll be sun tonight at about 9:30. There'll still be sun. So that's awesome. You can just be out all night. I'm going to barbecue tonight. Just to irritate those I don't give a crap people. That's right. Because even though I missed the summer solstice, today is the second day of the summer solstice, and the day is going to be a little bit shorter, but I can deal with it. And now we begin our long trek all the way till December 20th or 21st or somewhere in that area, where it'll be the winter solstice, and it'll be so short. You'll get up, it'll be dark, you'll go to work, you'll not see the sun because you'll be at work all day, and then you'll go home and it'll be dark. Yes. So just think of the alternative, my friend, and enjoy all the lovely sun that we have today. So there's so much news to get to. I need to do this first, though, just to mention that the website is mikesdailypodcast.com. If you have not been there yet, what are you waiting for? It's waiting for you. You can catch all the past shows and see all the past podcast pictures and help out the show. If you like it, why don't you help it out through the Amazon link? Click on the Amazon logo, buy whatever it is you're going to buy, and that helps us out. There's also the wonderful... Do you know what is wonderful? Is when I go to Starbucks. So let me back up, because Bing, I do all my searching for news and what have you on Bing, and finding out what happened to Bill Cosby on Bing, and I get rewards points for that. They're still doing that because Microsoft Windows is trying so hard to make you not think about Apple and that the iPhone is 10 years old. And I had an iPhone and I took it out yesterday, even though I don't have a phone service in it anymore. It's just an iPod now, basically. But I took a picture with it and I was looking at it, and I was kind of, because my Samsung was going through updates and I needed to take a picture. And I looked at my iPhone and I'm like, this is, you know what? Steve Jobs did get the whole sleek thing down. Apple always has the sleek thing. Everything just so sleek and sheer, and the whole concept of Apple is to make you not think at all. But of course, if you are someone that thinks, they get mad at you, and then you get mad at them, and you become me. And that's how that all works out. But as I was at Starbucks the other day, because I was using my Bing points, I got a bunch of bucks that I could use towards Starbucks, and they're having a deal right now with it. But I'm there getting my drink, and there's a lovely lady around my age with a beautiful Labradoodle, that brownish, reddish brown kind of color. Beautiful dog, just floppy and happy, and he's, I think, maybe a year or two old. And she's just so lovely, and she's got 2 little boys, and I'm talking to her, and I don't see a husband around. I forget if I looked at the fingers or not. And I just throw it out there. I don't want to be too crass and go, hey, what's your phone number? Although many guys will be like, Mike, that's what you got to do. You got to ask for the phone number like that. Talk like that. So instead, I just said, my name's Mike. And usually then they say, my name's whatever. And if her name is whatever, that's interesting. Or if it's Anyway, that's fitting, because this is Café
Anyway.
And she didn't respond. She didn't say her name. She and her boys just kind of looked at me like, uh-huh. And I got the distinct feeling of the following word would have been, and you go away now. And that's what I did. I walked away. Hey, thanks. That was fun talking to you. And you never know, though. You got to put yourself out. And I did. I tried. I wasn't too blunt. Maybe that's my problem, is I need to be more blunt, more nauseously blunt.
It makes me mildly nauseous.
To be blunt, even more blunt, but whatever. Maybe I'm crazy.
I'm crazy, but I'm not crazy like that. You know what I mean?
Well, let's get to the segment now. Oh, and there's also a PayPal if you'd like to help us out that way, too. You'll become an Inglorious Mike's Daily Podcaster and get a special greeting from all the Café Anyway characters. Now the segment...
Mike's Scavenger Hunt.
Okay, we have with us today...
Yeah. You ready, Mike?
Also at the website, too, you can give me your feedback. What do you think? What's your dating advice? What am I doing wrong? You can email me, mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com, or you can call the number 336-MM-DAILY. That's 336-MM-DAILY, and leave a massage. Speaking of massages, the guy who is the financier of many a prostitute, his name would be Travis Kalanick. He has stepped down as chief executive of Uber, the ride-hailing service that he helped found in 2009, and he built into a transportation colossus after a shareholder revolt made it untenable for him to stay at the company. Mr. Kalanick's exit came under pressure after hours of drama involving Uber's investors. Earlier on Tuesday, 5 of Uber's major investors demanded that the chief executive resign immediately. The investors included one of Uber's biggest shareholders, the venture capital firm Benchmark. The investors made their demand for Mr. Kalanick to resign in a letter delivered to the chief executive while he was in Chicago. In the letter, entitled "Moving Uber Forward," the investors wrote to Mr. Kalanick that he must immediately leave and that the company needed a change in leadership. Mr. Kalanick is 40. He consulted with at least one Uber board member, and after hours of discussion with some of the investors, he agreed to step down. He'll remain, though, on Uber's board of directors. The move caps months of questions over the leadership of Uber, which has become a prime example of Silicon Valley's startup culture gone awry. The company has been exposed this year as having a workplace culture that is rife with sexual harassment and discrimination, and has pushed the envelope in dealing with law enforcement and even partners. The tone was set by Mr. Kalanick, who has aggressively turned the company into the world's dominant ride-hailing service and upended the transportation industry around the globe. A former Uber engineer detailed what she said was sexual harassment at the company, opening the floodgates for more complaints and spurring internal investigations. And I heard they don't have a very big staff at the top. In addition, Uber has been dealing with an intellectual property lawsuit from Waymo, the self-driving car business that operates under Google's parent company, and a federal inquiry into a software tool that Uber used to sidestep some law enforcement. Speaking of self-driving, Tesla said that the self-driving car motorist ignored warnings. U.S. investigators said a driver who was killed while using Tesla's partially self-driving crash ignored repeated warnings to put his hands on the wheel. In a 538-page report provided new details of the crash that happened over a year ago that killed an Ohio resident in a crash in Florida. The NTSB, the National Transportation Safety Board, described the scene of the grisly incident and the minutes leading up to it. They opened an investigation to explore the possibility that Tesla's autopilot system was faulty and said it had drawn no conclusion about how or why the crash occurred. Instead, the report reveals fresh details about what is believed to be the first deadly crash in which an American driver was relying on self-driving technology to steer, accelerate, and brake the vehicle. A lawyer for the victim said the NTSB report confirms that baseless rumors reported in the media that Joshua was watching a Harry Potter video at the time of the horrible crash are false. The NHTSA said in January that the driver should have seen the truck at least 7 seconds before the collision, calling it a period of extended distraction, and that he took no braking, steering, or other actions. The report appears to deliver no conflicting information. The agency said the driver was traveling at 74 miles per hour above the 65 mile per hour speed limit on the road when he collided with the truck, and that the driver used the vehicle's self-driving system for 37 and a half minutes out of the 41 minutes of his trip. During the time the self-driving system was activated, he had his hands on the wheel for a total of only about half a minute. and Tesla has long insisted that the drivers must keep their hands on the wheel, ready to take over at any time. Now on to more political stuff, and that would be Attorney General, our former Attorney General Eric Holder. He might take a more active role in opposing President Trump. He told Yahoo News in an interview published yesterday that now is the time to be more visible. And he's weighing a 2020 presidential bid. That's our next presidential elections, is 2020. Bum, 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 bum. 2020 news show, which has gone to crap. Up till now, I have been more behind the scenes, he said. He served for 6 years in the Obama administration, but that's about to change. I have a certain status as the former Attorney General, a certain familiarity as the first African-American Attorney General. There's a justified perception that I'm close to Obama, so I want to use whatever skills I have, whatever notoriety I have to be effective in opposing things that are, at the end of the day, just bad for the country. He has remained relatively quiet since leaving the administration back in April of 2015. But now he's charging back into politics and even considering running against Trump for the White House. Well, it does not look good. Otherwise, that's one ray of hope in the Democratic Party. The rest is very sad because Democrats continued their special election losing streak yesterday. One of the Democrats' bright hopes, John Ossoff, lost his bid for a suburban Atlanta congressional seat long held by Republicans. A painful defeat that highlights deep fissures in the party. Well, you know what? If it was a seat that was long held by Republicans, that's going to be kind of hard to unseat that seat. People thought that possibly because of Donald Trump, people said about Donald Trump that might be the way he'd be able to get it. But Democrats have lost every special congressional election since Donald Trump took office. In addition to the Georgia race, the party failed to pick up seats vacated by Republican House members who joined the Trump cabinet in Kansas, Montana, and South Carolina. Although they ran ahead of their usual numbers. So you can parse that however way you want. It looks like these are all elections in heavy Republican areas, and Democrats wouldn't have won them anyway. Let's wrap this news segment up by saying you're sharing your cell phone number too frequently. This according to USA Today. Our cell phone numbers are being used increasingly by information brokers as the window to personal information that's kept by nearly all corporations, financial institutions, and social media networks. Former FBI agent Thomas Martin wrote a blog post titled, "Your cell phone number is your new social security number." If someone you had just met asked you for your social security number, you would likely not give it to them, it says. What if the same person asked you for your cell phone number? My guess is that you readily tell them the 10-digit number. See, I shouldn't have even asked that for her phone number, which I did not do. But see, I shouldn't have even brought up the fact that I was going to ask her for her phone number, because if she would have compromised her security, even though I would have done nothing. I'm sorry, my voice is very robust today. Phone number identity theft is a big problem. Last year, approximately 161,000 customers had mobile phone accounts taken over. That's up several hundred thousand. No, wait, that's up from 84,000. This according to a Pleasanton, California, not too far from where we are here in Podcastro Valley and where I work on the weekends. And the research company called Javelin found those numbers out. So it has doubled since 2015. Ooh. All right, we got to zip through these really quick because we're running out of time. We're all running out of time, but you got to make the most of your time, and you got to give a crap and enjoy the longer hours of the day. What I'm trying to tell you is Marco Rubio, that cute little politician, and I say little, I don't know how tall he is, but he seems like he's small. But he went in for a hug with the beautiful Ivanka Trump, and I don't know if you've seen the pictures, not so good. It wasn't quite a chummy embrace or a firm denial. Rather, the awkward photo, which is circled around the internet world several times, shows Rubio approached stiff as a board while Trump stood straight, not reciprocating. Not since the Florida Republican took a water break during the 2013 State of the Union response. Do you remember that? He looked so stilted. I don't know, that was his first big claim to fame, was how badly he did that State of the Union response. And drinking the water and all that. And Twitter made fun of the moment, as Twitter does. Now, finally, Daniel Day-Lewis has said he's going to quit acting. He's retiring. He's 60 years old now. He looks like he's 20 still, but just with gray hair. A 20-year-old gray hair is what he looks like. Hey, he won an Academy Award for There Will Be Blood, also for My Left Foot. My God, this guy, Lincoln, he was... Oh yeah, he got an Academy Award for Lincoln too. I forgot about that. So he's done. Why? He didn't really give a reason. But you know what? I understand that. You get a little burnt out with the arts, whatever your art is sometimes, which is sad because that's part of why it gives you a reason to live, doesn't it? Whatever it is, that little art thing you do. So you shouldn't stop. You should keep going. Daniel Day-Lewis, keep going. Don't give up. Please don't give up. I'm gonna stand on that bridge where the sun and whatever may come and whatever may go. That river's burn, that river's turn. Peter Gabriel sang this song. Oh, he sang it all along. And I can't think of the words. Finally. And this is the finally. It's the final countdown. As we go outside of Café Anyway, we're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley. You know that Star Wars movie thing they're going to do? The Young Han Solo movie? Oh my gosh. Now the directors of that movie, Phil Lord and Chris Miller, are gone. They're making this movie. It's got Woody Harrelson in it. The girl from Two Broke Girls. Chewbacca. A couple... the Gambino... Crazy Gambino guy from Community. All those guys. They're all in this movie. Big Lucasfilm Disney thing. It's going to be released next year. A year from now. And the directors are gone. They got the cast and crew together. They're leaving. A new director will be announced soon. Their previous projects included the hugely successful Lego movie, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, which if you can get through that whole movie without running to the refrigerator and eating all your leftovers, you're strong. And they also did 21 Jump Street and the other 21 Jump Street movies. Unfortunately, this is what they said. Unfortunately, our vision and process weren't aligned with our partners on this project. We normally aren't fans of the phrase creative differences, but for once, this cliche is true. We are really proud of the amazing and world-class work of our cast and crew. As the movie continues on. Hey, you know, Peter Mayhew, who's played Chewbacca forever, is being replaced by Junice Suatomo in this new movie. And it looks like whoever takes over the movie will inherit a project that has already undergone most, if not all, of its principal photography. And it's not clear yet how much of the movie, written by Empire Strikes Back and The Force Awakens screenwriter Lawrence Kasdan and his son John Kasdan, will be reshot, if any. I hope you enjoyed today's show. It was chock-a-block, full of fascinating info, wasn't it? I want you to enjoy Summer Solstice Day Part 2. And, whatever. It's been fun. I'll talk to you soon. Next show, it's going to be Benita the Disgruntled Fiddle Player and the Brewmaster.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!